Okay. All right, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David Baruch Hashem. We have a beautiful, beautiful raining day today.
A
lot of bracha. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. I mean, if you learn through Masechtas Tainas, right, you appreciate every day that it rains here, right? Right, Rav Shalom?
Does it rain after?
No, but if you learn Masechtas Tainas, the whole thing is about having a drought in Eretz Yisrael. So every time we have Gishmei Bracha, it's a time for Simcha. Mamash, Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Okay, we're learning Likutey Halachos. We're learning about Hilchas Birchas HaPeiros, and of course the Peiros of Eretz Yisrael, and then it's tied into the rain of Eretz Yisrael. Right? When we have good rain, we get good fruits. Right? Baruch Hashem. So we were learning yesterday this a very beautiful concept to understand why the Gemara says, who is a chassid? Someone that knows to say his brachas, knows his brachas. And in Pirkei Avos it says that who's the chassid? The guy that knows that takes care of his nezikin. Anytime he has any damages, he causes any damage, he pays for it. He's careful what he does. So how do you equate the two? So he said yesterday so beautifully. When you make a bracha on the fruit, what you're doing is you're elevating the soul in the fruit. If you don't make the bracha very well on the fruit, or you don't think about the bracha, you don't think about what you're doing. So then what you're doing is you're causing a damage to the soul that's in that fruit. That's the connection to the damage. Because the other guy that causes physical damage, this one's causing spiritual damage. And that's the connection, how you can connect the idea of being a bucky in your brachas, to know how to make the brachas on your fruits, to know what bracha to make, how to make a bracha correctly, right? Because every time you do that, you pick up some food and you eat something, you're lifting up the soul that's in that food. Yes, sir?
Even more so, you do damage to your own neshama when you don't say the brachas.
We did, exactly. Okay, well, you weren't here for the other class, I'll fill you in. No, so he said sometimes that what HaKadosh Baruch Hu does is, he puts the person in a certain place, and he'll come in contact with certain fruits, certain vegetables, certain things, because those things that he comes in contact have a piece of his own soul in them. So when he makes the bracha, he's actually returning something that he had lost from himself. And that's why we say we have to be very careful to honor the food. Right? You have to honor the food because in the food there's a soul. If there's a soul in the food, I got to honor the food. That's why we don't have baltashkas. We don't waste our food because again, there's souls in. Okay, now we're going to learn. That was that. It was a beautiful, beautiful lesson. We can review yesterday's lesson. Beautiful lesson. How lesson brings these two and these worlds together. How he does Birchas HaPeiros and connects it to the Hilchas Brachas, and he connects it to the Nezikin. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, now we're going to go and today we're going to learn about the order of the brachas. You have different fruits in front of you. Which one do you make the bracha on, and so on and so forth. So here we go. With Siyata D'Shmaya, of course. Gimel, 3. Ezeh bechinas dinei kedima bibrachas. And that's the idea of the order of the brachas. What goes first and so on. The sequence of brachas and order of brachas. Based on the importance of the fruit, right?
Maybe is this just the fruit or the grain as well?
Well, we have. Okay, so that's in the pasuk in the Devorah. If you look up in chapter 8, pasuk 8, it gives you the list of Eretz Chita, Saira, Kana, right? You have the list of the things. So it really goes based on that list. When you goes first. So if you have a mezonos that's made out of wheat, that would go first. And so on. But now we're talking about if you have fruits. Here we're learning about fruit.
My question is, what defines fruit? And how would you define the fruit?
An apple, an orange, a mango, a pear, a plum, a peach.
But for example, like a banana is not a
It's a tree, but it's a part of Priyadama.
Right.
And so is a pineapple.
Right.
Okay. But let's
Okay.
yeah. The main elevation of the nefesh is through the kavod, and that's the shorish of everything, right? This kavod, you have to, like we said, we have to give kavod to the food, right? Kavod, because the soul is godly. So of course you have to give it chashivas, okay? Shal yedei zeh hanefesh te'eva likolel b'shorsha. The nefesh always is trying to. It has a desire to come back to where it came from, its origination. The nefesh wants to come back. It was lost. It wants to be returned. Yalkin tzrichin leide eze pri tzrichin lehakdim b'bracha. And therefore, I have to know which fruit I first make the bracha on over another fruit. So tzrichin lechale kavod leoisa pri da'ayne sheyesh by a nefesh gedoy lebiyoser. Because there are different levels of souls. So the higher the fruit, the higher the soul. Oh, we have to give honor to the soul. So now certain fruits are going to have higher souls in them than others. So therefore we have to give kavod to certain fruits over other fruits. And therefore we have to give it more respect, and therefore we give it the special treatment. We make the bracha on that one first. Because through the bracha, through the way that when the person makes the bracha, what he is doing is he is actually lifting up the kavod that was hidden. It was hidden. The kavod was hidden. Most people don't even know there's any souls inside fruit. They have no idea what soul in a fruit. A person has a soul. An animal has a soul, but a fruit has a soul. Yes, fruits have souls. Yes.
I have a question if you don't mind. There's food that's naturally grown, and for that food, for sure, what you're teaching is it's beautiful that it's a soul. But how about a fruit that's, let's say, genetically, G whatever?
Okay. That's a whole new thing. We are discussing here regular fruit that grows on a tree.
Right.
Okay, they're all that mechanical stuff. I don't know why anyone want to eat that. I have no idea.
I agree with you 100%. So a lot of
Let's think. Yeah, again, we are discussing things that Hashem created on the tree and the. That's a whole thing. It's what are you eating? They make it. They tell you it's a fruit. They tell you it's a piece of meat, but what is it?
Right.
It's a bunch of chemicals.
Right. Exactly. Right.
No,
I used to be clothing with. So that's to me it's interesting.
Okay.
So I have a comment about this.
You want to say something? What is it?
Because I've also heard, our soul is also trying to get back to its source.
Yes, and then the fruit has our pieces of our soul too. So it wants to come back to your soul because your soul wants to come back with it. There you go.
Baby, and one other thing, is there an Indian to eat?
It's almost like it's almost like this. There's a bus.
Yeah.
Right. Let's think. I like to give you an example. Okay, there's a bus, right? And then they tell you that the bus is leaving at 1:00. So everyone has to come back to the bus to leave. They all leave on the bus, and the bus goes, right? So the fruits, all the things, are the things trying to get back to the bus, come back to the soul. The soul can come back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You understand? Okay. Now the bechinas hisharu b'nei ami haaretz shemehem teitzei Torah, and of course we have to always give a lot of respect to even those people that don't know a lot of Torah, because we don't know who's going to come from their children. Maybe great people come from them. And then that's in lesson 37 in Zion. And therefore you have to give kavod to the food, you have to give kavod to people, and so on. Okay. And this is the idea that it says in Tehillim, we're talking about the shulchan shall melech, right? If you have the kings in their table, ki ikar bechinas covered hu ba'achila shulchan melachim. Kamavay b'divrei Rabbeinu Zechreinu Levracha in Rabbi Nachman speaks about in lesson 67. Kamay shenira b'chush kisheechad roitzel lechabed es chaveroi al piroi v'u mechabdei b'dover machal oy mashke. Someone wants to honor their friend, they'll give them something special, a fruit platter, they'll give them a bottle of wine, they'll give them a bottle of mashka, or whatever they'll give them, that you honor somebody with some type of a fruit. Shulchan melachim, right? Okay, so let's see. Kisham ikar bechinas hakavod, because that's the main cover, again, when you honor the person. So you honor the person with the food. Because there's many different souls in that thing that you're giving. Right? Is covered in the main way that the souls can be elevated is giving it the respect. Give the soul the respect, show respect to the fruit, show respect to the Rebbeinu Shalom by making the bracha. And that's the idea when you make a bracha that's defining. Some brachas are general brachas, like the bracha Shahakol. Shahakol niyeh, Hashem made everything. It's a very general bracha, which is all inclusive. But then sometimes you have a bracha Borei Priya Eitz, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the fruit of the tree. Specific brachas. Shehem bechashivas yoysim ibrichas klolius. Those are higher level brachas because I'm praising Hashem for something specific, not in general. V'yesh lahem din kedima kigoyim boirei priya eitz. So therefore, a boirei priya eitz will take preference. Making the bracha first, you'll give it more credence, you'll give that bracha more because that's the borei priyas, uborei priyadama, koidnin levircha shakol. Oh, so therefore, if you have different things in front of you, and you're trying to figure out how to make the bracha, just one moment, you're trying to figure out how to make the bracha, okay? So if you have a shahakol, you have a borei priyadama, and you have a borei priya eitz. So which one would you make the bracha on first? You would make the bracha on the Borei Priya Eitz. Okay, because you're specifying the tree. Borei Priya Adam is also, again, more of a general bracha because you're talking about the ground. Shahakol Nibavari is the most general bracha. You're talking about everything. So that's the order, you do it like that. So if you had, let's say, for example, you had an apple, and you had a piece of, and you had a banana, and you had some cottage cheese, whatever, just a shot. Not talking about a drink now, okay? Or a yogurt. You have a yogurt, okay? You have a yogurt, okay? So what bracha would you make first? You would first eat your apple, right? And then you would make the borei priya adama, and then you would make the shahakal, and that's the order of the praising of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because the eitz is the most, the defines the most. Hadama is second. And Shakal Nivar is most general, so that'll be the last bracha. Machma zeh bracha pratius mavai b'Shulchan Aruch. This is the din in Shulchan Aruch. This is not Rav Nosson. This is the din in Shulchan Aruch. If you look up the bracha of Kedima of brachas, you'll find it in Shulchan Aruch. You can find it in Shulchan Aruch in Aruch Chaim 211. Okay, and you can find it in Siv Cotton Gimel. Okay, if you want to look up these brachas, you want to know more about it, you can look it up there. Yes, so go ahead.
So my question is, how is it that certain Sephardi families over Shabbos?
Yeah, Sephardim are a little bit different. They have different halacha. They do things a little bit different than we do. But go ahead. Yes.
The very same thing that they do is before saying Hamotzi.
Yeah.
Which you think is the most specific one.
Yeah.
They make brachas on vegetables, adama, shakol. Like I said those brachas before. We would wash and do hamotzi. Very richly.
Right.
The way it was explained to me is, Baruch, we're trying to make more brachos and Shabbos Kodesh, so So that's what they add these extra ones.
Because we were supposed to make 100 brachas a day.
Yeah.
They do b'samin, yeah. Atzei b'samin, barimine b'samin.
Yes,
Yeah, so yeah, because every day you're supposed to make 100 brachas. We learned it from David Hamelech,
yeah.
right? But again, these are all nice things. But again, we're not discussing that now. Here we're learning about the order of brachas. Again, if they wanted to give you many things, which one would you make what bracha would you make first? So if they gave you a cookie or a cracker.
It was before student. It was bore morning.
I understand, but if they put things on the table,
right.
Put things on the table, and they gave you a cracker,
Yes.
maybe a fig, or a date, or whatever, I don't know what they gave, and they gave you some pineapple. Okay, so you would make the mizonos first, then you would make the ha'etz, right, on the fig, then you would make the hadama. And then if you have something to eat or drink, you would make the shakal.
Even the Rebbe, let's say, even though I have a great desire to eat pineapple first, let's say I want something juicy as opposed to this cracker. Like even when, let's say, I'm thirsty, it's super hot.
Okay, we're going to learn about that, but really, you want to do what's right.
That's right. Okay.
You want to really do what's right. Right? We learned that idea from in Gittin. Right? If you have a guy that doesn't want to give a get to his wife, right? So they say, you'll beat the guy until he says, right side me. Then they ask the question, hey, if he has to really want to do it, he doesn't really want to give the get, he really wants to stop them from beating him. So he says, I want it. No, but the Rambam and all the, it's so beautiful, the way they explain it. Really, Maker Adin, the guy wants to give it. He wants to do the right thing. He has all the shtus inside of him, all that stuff inside him that's not letting him do it. So when you beat him a little bit, he really tells you what he really wants to do. What he really wants to do. So again, here, you really want to do what you're supposed to do in the order of the brachas, in the order of the pasuk. You have the Zayin Minim of the 7 species of Eretz Yisrael, and they go in that order. You can look it up if you like. It's in Perik 8 and chapter and pasuk 8. Okay, yeah. In Devar. Okay,
it's no different than Hashem beating us because He wants us to go in the right direction.
It's the same idea. Yes, yeah. Okay. Let's try to stay to the lesson. Chashuva b'yoyse me'achar shemevarchin Hashem yisbarach shebara hakol. Right? That shahakol is a very general bracha, beautiful bracha. Shahakol niyeh. Everything in the world came about because you willed it, Hashem, because you said that it should be here. And even though in that bracha you're really saying, wow, Hashem, you made everything, which really includes the tree, and it includes the hadama, and it includes the fruit, and it includes everything. And that's why if someone forgot and he made the wrong bracha on anything, and he made a shahakol, it works. Because shahakol, you don't do it l'chatchila. No, that's only b'di'evet. Person made a mistake. Right? So he made the shahakol, really, but that's all inclusive. So it includes everything else. We don't do that. Okay, again, but if someone did it by mistake, that would be okay. Let's continue. Aval bebracha pratius ein maskirin shevach Hashem yisbarach kol kach. When you're making the specific brachas, you're not praising Hashem as much, right? It's not as much because you're not saying He made everything. You're saying He specifically made this fruit. Ki ein maskirin rak shebara pri ha'etz oy pri adama v'kiyotze or yo, because you're only saying He made this fruit or this vegetable. Okay, now aval malas hakedima shel bracha pratius hu bechinas hanal is what we learned before, that we're trying to lift up the covet in the food. Right? We're trying, there's something more going on. That's why you're saying, I want to eat this one, but there's something more going on here. And there's a sequence that things have to be done. The same way, if you have a combination lock, right? A really, really complicated lock. So, I really like this number. I'll put this number first before that number. Oh, but what's the big deal? They're all, it's the same numbers. It won't work. Again, I try to give you things to understand. You're trying to make something happen here. You're trying to lift up the souls in the fruit. If you want to do that, there's an order of covet that you have to give to each one. Now, many times we think we want something else. That's only a Yetzer Hara trying to break up this system of being able to elevate the soul that's in that thing. Because if I do it the wrong way, I blow it. Right? You understand? Okay. Ki meyacha shemevarchen ala pri zo bracha pratis. Because now after you made the bracha pratis, you made this specific bracha on the fruit. Nimsa sheyesh lachelik bekavod biyoser ki maskirin shevach Hashem yisbarach al pri zo bilvad nimsa shepri zo mechabedes kol kach ad shemeyachtim bebracha levad. You're giving so much covet to this fruit that you're setting aside this fruit from everything else. And you're praising Hashem specifically for this fruit. That's giving it a lot of respect. Therefore, you're giving it a lot of respect. Because I'm making my bracha, I'm honing in on this specific thing. Because in those fruits, there are very, very lofty souls, and there's a difference of what soul will be in what thing. You understand?
I hear it's even saying that
Yeah.
you do it in that priority because there's a greater soul.
Yeah, the
In
different
that order.
fruits have the
Okay,
different higher souls.
Higher souls.
If it's first in the pasuk, comes with a higher soul, so you can lift up something higher. That's why you have to know what you're doing and how you do it first. Okay, yeah.
In the same manner, the idea is covered. Let's say I come to a room, and there's actually 3 people there. I should probably say shalom to the most covered person, right? For example, the Rav.
Yes.
As opposed to some, same idea, right? Or for example, first to
Yes.
Cohen, and then to
Yes.
Same
Yeah. Same idea. Give
Same
covet.
idea.
Yes, you do. You give covet. Yes.
Very good. Thank you.
Right. It's interesting. Yeah. Halacha says that if a rabbi walks into the room, you have to stand up. And then they say that, the same guy that doesn't stand up when the rabbi walks in the room, but the Sefer Torah comes and he stands up. So the rabbi said, well, what do you, what's the difference? Right? The person giving teaching, whatever, okay, same ideas, these same things, okay. Ve'ikar ha'chashivos le'inyan kedima heim peiris shel Eretz Yisrael v'chol ha'mukdam b'pasek. But the main, like we said, the main order of the brachas is the peiros of Eretz Yisrael always get more respect, okay? And specifically those that are first in the pasuk in that order.
Which are the first ones? Can you remind me which ones are the first ones? In the pairs of
I
verses?
told you we're going to look it up in Devarim, chapter 8, pasuk 8. It first comes wheat and barley and rye, yeah. Okay, the pasuk. Mukdam lebracha k'may shamar b'sein zechan lebracha ki ikar habracha hu b'chinetz Eretz Yisrael. Because whenever I make a bracha, I'm connecting myself to Eretz Yisrael. Wherever I am in the world, wherever I find myself, any Jew finds themselves, and they're making a bracha on the fruit, and they're saying borei pri ha'etz Hashem, you made this Halakenu melech olam. So you are connecting back, like we learned before. You're connecting to Eretz Yisrael. And that's the same airspace of Eretz Yisrael, as we said that the airspace of Eretz Yisrael is mechakim. It makes a person wise because it's pure. Right? The airspace outside of Israel is not pure, and therefore it doesn't help the person become wise. It rather helps the person with more foolishness. Okay, and that helps the person lift up the soul, and he has the right seichel and the right memory to remember what's important. Again, this is all based on lesson 37 in Likutey Moran. You have to understand the lessons 37, and these ideas are all coming from that lesson. Yes?
Just a quick question. Is there an opinion of, you said ear of Yerushalayim, but is there the ear of Yerushalayim holier than the other?
Yes.
Or, here's another idea. Let's say
The Mishnah.
you're from Shvat, whatever Shevet you're from. Like let's
Yes.
say I know from Ephraim. Does that mean that I should ideally be living in Ephraim's territory?
No.
No.
When Mashiach comes, he'll arrange where we're going to live. You're living in Eretz Yisrael. That's wonderful.
That's
You're in Eretz Yisrael. That's it. Don't worry about it. Don't matter where you are in Eretz Yisrael. It doesn't matter. You're in Eretz Yisrael. V'zeh shamra b'seinu chen levracha kol haposik l'shiurin nemar. What does this mean? All the pasuk have their shiurim. Okay? V'hainu hach kizeh malus ha'chashiva shel shivas haminim shenishtabcha behem Eretz Yisrael. That Eretz Yisrael is very praiseworthy based on the Zayaninim. Okay, the 7 species. Shaperis heim chashivos kol kach sheyesh lehem nefoshes gevois, because they have very lofty souls in those fruits. Moed v'zeh iker chashivos haperis. That's the main chashivos haperis. That's why peris and fruits are very important, because they have souls in them. V'hanefesh hu ha-Torah. The nefesh is Torah, is connected to the Torah. V'al kein haperis shel Eretz Yisrael heim shivas haminim mesharin bahem kol hashiurim shel Torah. All the different measurements that we have in the Torah, I have different measurements. So it's kebeitza, kezayis, right? We have a kezayis. So these are all from the things of Eretz Yisrael. Shezeh moira sheyesh behem nafshos givois harbe shehem bechinas Torah v'al kein misharin bahem shiurim shel Torah. Therefore, you make your measurements of things things to accomplish is Torah. Ki nefesh hu Torah, because the nefesh is Torah. Umachma zeh ba'atzmai, and because of this specifically, that there's a soul enclosed in all of the fruits. Elu aperes chashivos b'yoseh b'Eretz Yisrael. Therefore, the fruits are more holy in Eretz Yisrael. Nishtapcha b'hem, and they're praised for it. V'yesh lahem din kedima al shar peres. And they have a higher level of importance than all the other fruits. Machma shemalubash b'hem Torah harbe b'yoseh mishar peres, because there's more Torah, higher nefesh in the fruit of Eretz Yisrael than you have of all the other fruits. Therefore, the fruits of Eretz Yisrael will always go. Listen, we're getting ready for Tu B'Shvat. Right, hold on, we're getting ready for Tu B'Shvat. So we're learning here all about the importance of the fruits of the tree. That's the Rosh Hashanah for the Ilonais, right, for all the fruits. So here, what a beautiful hachana to get ready for Tu B'Shvat, and to learn the Halachos of Peres. We're learning the laws of the fruits and how important fruits really are. Yeah.
We've got a very important question. So, for example, I did not like olives. My taste was like olives.
You like olives?
I did not like.
Like olives? Okay.
Do not. I like the shemen, the olive oil. I like, but not the olives. So my question to you is.
Well, the Gemara says if you eat olives, it causes you to have forgetfulness. But if you eat olive oil, it'll help you remember.
Yeah, but let me hear my question.
Yeah.
My question is, you just mentioned there's such incredible holiness and especially in the tavros of Eretz Yisrael. And olive is obviously one of the tavros of Eretz Yisrael.
Yes, it's in the list of the 7 species.
Does that mean that I need to really modify my diet so that I for sure will eat all the 7, holy?
No. Because the same way.
Yeah.
The same way in that pasuk it says devash. But the devash is honey. But it's not talking about devash, the honey like we eat bee honey. It's talking about date honey. Right, it's talking about date honey.
Yeah.
So it's not the actual form. So you can say the same thing with an olive.
Oh, you can eat, as long as you eat olive oil, it's beautiful. It's just fine.
Olive oil is fine.
Fine.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with olive oil. No, nothing at all. Right.
And you're going to have to
What's that?
Need to know how to select the best olive.
Yes, and the shemen zayis of the menorah, right? Okay, all right. Ki bohem misharin shiurin shel Torah, because from these things of the Torah of these 7 species, we will make a shiurim in the of what the measurements are to accomplish other mitzvos, right? Like for example, eating matzah, right? Or I drink wine and so on, things like that. Okay, shel Torah to a nefesh ve'al kein tzrichin lahagdimam. Therefore, we give great credence to those fruits, especially the ones from Eretz Yisrael, especially in the order of the 7 in the pasuk. Because they have higher souls in them. Okay, they have higher souls in them. It's a very, very important idea. Do we have more time that we can do? We can work on Dalet. Do we do Dalet? Yeah.
I have to pick up my children. I have 2 more minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes. Okay. Well, we'll continue. I think we should do. Let's do Dalet. Okay. And therefore, why all the shiurim in the Torah pretty much are kizayas, right? The size of an olive. Okay. Kol shir achiluhu kizayas. All shiurim of eating go based on the kizayas. V'chein le'inyan birchas hamazon bracha achrona v'shir kizayas. And also, if you ate bread, how much bread did you eat? You ate a kizayas. Oh, like an olive. Okay, the question is how big is the olive? They were different size olives, and that we're not getting into the exact shear of that. You can look all of that up later. We're not discussing it now. We're just discussing here the idea that there's such a thing as a kizayas. Why is it called a kizayas? That's what we're discussing here. Okay? Okay, kizay shemen, because olive oil. Oh, there we go. Hu mayra al bechinas guf v'nefesh shehem bechinas shichacha v'zikaron. Because when you're dealing with olives and olive oil, you have both aspects in there. You have remembrance and you have forgetfulness. How? If you eat olives, the rabbis tell us that you will forget your Torah learning. We're going to get, wait, let me, 1 minute. But if you eat olive oil, that's good for your memory. Now, hold on. Now, today, wait a second. Nobody is going to eat an olive the way we're discussing the olive that they're talking about. Okay, we don't eat, no one's going to take an olive off a tree and eat the olive. No one does that. They're salted, they're put in oil and different things, so they've changed the makeup of it, and because of that, there's no problem with eating olives. They're not going to cause you. You just don't want to take an olive off a tree and eat it. That's what you're going to ask, right?
I wasn't going to ask. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it's for a raw olive.
Yeah.
And also,
we get
it's
to
so silly because, don't get me wrong. Have you ever had a raw olive?
No, I won't eat. No,
they're horrendous.
They're no good, right?
It's too bitter. The tannins are too strong.
I understand.
So anybody who's foolish enough to try to pick olives off the tree and eat them probably deserves to forget anything they.
There we go. There we go. Look, he says like this here. Ki isa mesech tahariya shezeisim hey meivim l'shichacha. Olives can bring you to forgetfulness, right? Like we said. V'shemen hayotzim me'azeisim u'leibach. But the oil that comes out of the olive, that's the opposite. So you see, if you refine something, how much different it is. The same thing. The oil came from the olive.
The olive makes you think that the poison, the poison of the snake, in it is the antidote. Inside of the poison.
Yes. Okay. Ki shemen hu mesugal is ikarim, because oil is symbolic. It helps us with our memory. Nimsa shezayis v'shemen melubash b'saycha. You have inside there the idea that it can help you remember and it can help you it'll make you forget. You have both things, both aspects in the olive. Shuhu bechinas guf v'nefesh. That's the idea of guf and nefesh. We have the body. Remember, it brings down in lesson 37. We have the body, and then you have the nefesh. The nefesh wants to do the right thing, it tries to get the body to do the right thing as well. The same thing with the olive. You take the olive itself is like the body, the oil is like the nefesh, it's refined, it's like the nefesh, and together they make something wonderful.
Beautiful. So it almost reminds me the idea that Hashem gives you challenges in this world. He kind of squeezes you.
Yeah.
So that you
Exactly. I even think they even put olives in olive oil to cure them, right? They use the olive oil, right? They put it in there, they put spices and different things. Right? Is that what they do, Shalom? Probably, right? Yeah? Or maybe they use canola oil. No.
Well, the other thing is that
Thank you.
using olives from Israel
Yeah.
and there's a whole process to making.
Yes, of course, yeah. Nefesh bechinas zikaron, bechinas Torah, bechinas das, which is Torah das. The nefesh is considered which we said is the Torah, which is the das. Okay, knowing Hashem va'al kein kol shiurim shel Torah ki kizayis ki Torah hu bechinas nefesh bechinas zikaron. Because Torah itself is this idea. They have to remember your Torah learning. You want to remember what you learned. Hu bechinas zei shemen, like the olive oil. Kamoi hashemen hamalubash behazayis, the same way that you have the oil that's enclosed in the olive. You also have the soul that's in the olive. Okay, shu bechinas zikaron hamalubash b'shichacha. You have the remembrance within the forgetfulness, right? In the same thing, in the olive itself. The olive itself is an olive. It helps you. It makes a person forget. Oh, but in there's the oil, and that oil will help you remember. Two aspects in each thing. That's the same way it is in each person. Each person has the nefesh and he has his guf. The guf wants to do whatever it wants to do, but the nefesh is trying to keep the body and do it from doing the right thing, so that way it can be elevated through the body. So is the olive. The olive needs the oil that'll elevate it. Maybe that's why they treat olive. They put olives in olive oil, right?
Why?
Whenever you buy olives, you go to the store, they have olives, right?
Oh, they leave them in. They're letting them
They
soak
cure in the olive oil. Yeah.
Different ways of curing olives. One of them is in oil.
In oil itself, right? I think that's the most common way, isn't it?
I think just in the salt water drying is
Oh, salt water. Okay.
This might be a cure for dementia. Olive oil,
Right,
teaspoon
right.
a day.
Right.
Bechinas nefesh hamelubash b'aguf. V'kamay she'i efsher legalis elhatzi hashemen lamaor me'azayis. The same way it's impossible to take out the olive, the oil that's in there, ki im ayedei kesisa, unless you crush it. You have to crush the olive, right? If you crush the olive, then you can do it. When you take and grind and you crush the olives, then you can get the oil out of it. You have to break down the body. That was the whole point of us going down to Mitzrayim, that we're in Mitzrayim, that we were trying to be broken down to become the people that we have to be, right? Same idea, like the olive. It's the same idea with the olive. By you breaking down all the physicality, and breaking down all the forgetfulness of, like the olive causes forgetfulness. Then you can have the light of the nefesh, which is Torah, and remembrance inside the body itself. Because eventually, if you work on it, if you let the nefesh take control of the body, sooner or later, the body will then work with the nefesh, the same way the olive will work together with the brine, and they'll work together, and it's very tasty, very nice. So too is a yid, the same idea. That's the connection we are connected to an olive. That's why olives are the shear of all things that we eat, right? If you want to know if you have to bench or not. So if you ate a kizayis of lechem, right? If you ate a kazayas of lechem, then you'll have to bench. If you ate a kazayas of cookies, of barakas, or whatever you ate, so then you'll have to make the alamichya, right? If you ate a kazayas of anything, that's what qualifies the after bracha, based on the olive. Because the olive is very, very important for us to understand. The olive by itself is no good. Oh, but when you break it, it becomes great. So too is a yid. When the Jew itself, he has his problems. But when you break him down, then you see the beauty that's inside the yid. Okay?
Did you speak of the olive's connection to not forgetting Torah?
Yeah,
That's what we were talking
that's
about.
the olive oil.
Yeah.
You take when the olive itself. If you eat the olive, it'll cause you to forget.
The olive causes you to forget.
A plain olive,
Right.
which you're not going to eat anyway, so don't worry.
Oh, plain olive meaning from a tree.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. No, right. No, right. I know your wife likes to eat. That's why I said.
I like to eat olives, and she tells me,
No.
you're going to forget your Torah.
No. That's no. That's olives that are not treated, not salted. Yeah. Okay. That's a very important thing.
Whatever it is.
So
Yeah.
if it is
Yeah, it's
salted and that, then it will not cause you to lose your memory,
No.
but it won't help you keep your memory.
No, it
Like
won't. It
olive
won't be
oil.
harming. It won't be harming. וכמי שאמר בסיידן זכרון לברכה, אין התורה מסקיימס, אלא שמימס עצמה יליה. The Gemara in Brachas says on 63b that if the Torah is only going to be mekayim to a person, is going to have a kiyum in a person if he kills himself over it. You work on your Torah, you work on it. You have to work on it the same way you have to work on the olive, and then you can have something. That's the same way the Gemara says a person is. You have to break your body the same way you have to break down the olive to be able to get the oil out of it, to show the beauty that comes out of the person as he works on himself to purify himself.
It's almost like the burnt challah. It's the same idea.
The burnt part of the
The
challah.
challah, like this is the
Not burnt, the dark. We said dark.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't say
done.
burnt. We said the well done. Right,
The well is done part, meaning the most refined. The most
right. They have that
complete.
butcher shop called Well Done. See, there you remember that. Yeah, okay. You know that one, right? Well Done. You know that? You don't know?
Is that by you?
No. Okay, that's
You're
okay.
the-
V'oz daiken iskala ha'torah v'hanefesh v'hazikaron, and then you can reveal the Torah and the nefesh and the zikaron that's in the person. That's before a person works on himself. He's not going to see the beauty of inside him. When he starts working on himself, he'll see how much beauty that is in the person themselves. It's a beautiful idea.
We're all very, very bitter.
Huh?
We're all very, very bitter until
We work on ourselves, and then it becomes, you see the beauty comes out. The more you work, the more beauty comes out, right?
Like the butterfly.
V'zeh b'china shemen zayis zoch kasis lamor. And that's why you have the shemen zayis zoch kasis lamor, right? What kasis lamor means, it was the first drop, the purest drop, one drop out of the oil. You get a lot of oil, you can get a lot of oil, a lot of drops out of an olive. But when they used the one for the menorah, it was only the first drop, the most pure oil, because you wanted the light to be as pure as possible. Did you know that?
From the first squeeze? I
Wait,
thought it was
wait.
the most refined, the one
No.
that was squeezed the most.
No. The first drop that comes out, that's what they would use. They would collect
It's
the first drop,
and squeezing it.
first drop of each oil, of each olive. The bechinas masha isa bezayir hakodesh ona de lo salik bei neura mevashtin lei gufa de lo salik bei nehira nishmasa. The same way, if you have a tree, right? That you can use the tree to put out. Wow, this is amazing. Actually, we're going to be learning the same thing, but this way, just learn now. We're going to be learning. This is fascinating. All right, if you have a fire, you have to put out a fire. You have to use it. You use the tree to put out the thing itself. Right? If you have a fire on a tree, so you take a branch of the fire and then bang it to get it out. The same way with a person, if you want to get whatever's good in them, you have to bang out of the thing in the person. He's going to explain. What is it? Nimsa, shezayit shemen, hu bechinas guf nefesh. Zayit shemen, the oil itself, the olive, is this idea of both guf and nefesh. The olive is the guf, the oil is the nefesh. Okay? The alkein kol shiurim shel Torah kizayis. Therefore, all the shiurim of Torah are always measured based on the olive. Ki kol mitzvahs haTorah daika edei guf v'nefesh, because all the mitzvahs of the Torah have this idea of the guf of the mitzvah and the nefesh of the mitzvah. Right? You have the guf of the mitzvah, and the mitzvah you want to have kavanah, you put into it, that's the nefesh. You understand? You put your kavanah into it. When the nefesh is enclosed in the guf, the same way when the nefesh is enclosed in the fruit, the same way when the nefesh is enclosed in the olive, right? It's not revealed yet. How does the kiyam haTorah come? Ki ikar is galus haTorah of nefesh who mitoich haguf daika bebechinas ki yisroi na'or min ha'chayshach. The same way you could take the light out of the darkness, right? Ki yisroi na'or min ha'chayshach. This is a beautiful, beautiful idea. We'll stop over here with this. We're going to continue more about the shear of the zayis tomorrow. But let's learn a quick halacha in Kit Shulchan Aruch. This is really amazing. We're learning. We're learning. Yeah.
This also explains why we need to have compassion with people, because they haven't been refined yet. It's in there.
It's in them. When you give them the covet, you'll get the beauty. Will come out of them. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Today we're learning Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We're learning about the Shmiras Haguf, and I think today we're up to Gimel, right? Three. Okay. Here we go. Ha'ikol ha'toiv hu im hamachal einoi rav. If you want you to be you want your digestion to go well, you can't have a lot of food inside of you. You hear this? If you want to have good digestion, you can't have your belly too full. V'shiyehei kal lisakal, because then it'll be easier to digest. He explains. She'im achal adam harbe v'itz tamcha mileya. If he eats a lot and his belly is very full, it's very hard for the stomach to digest the food. Yesterday we were learning this idea that you have the gallbladder, right, works together with the stomach, and they give secretions of acid, different things, in order to help the food to digest. Now the problem is there's only so much stomach acid, so much I guess secretions from the gallbladder. If there's too much food in the stomach, there's not enough material to break it down.
Which one are you on?
3.
Okay.
Kia it's tamcha eina yechoyla oz lehis pashet ulehis kavetz karoyu betivai. It can't work and process the food through because it's too full. To break it down further the way it has to do it. And therefore, Kimaya Eish, She'im Yarbu Olav Eitzim Yoisim Midai Ve'enai Baya Yafa. If you have an oven, and you put too much wood in the oven, the fire won't burn very well. Yes, sooner or later, the fire will consume the wood and then the fire will burn better. So too is a person's stomach. He'll be sick until that time happens. That's why people don't understand. They go eat too much and then they're sick the next day. Why am I sick? They're sick because you ate too much the day before. There's too much food in the stomach. It can't be processed. So the stomach you're feeling sick because the stomach can't do it. The same way there's too much fire in an oven. It's fascinating. This is Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. This is amazing. Okay. The same thing is with the food in the stomach. Is someone that wants to be healthy. See, Yossi, you don't have to listen to those other guys. The Kitzur Shulchan Aruch tells you how to be healthy. Is this great? Yossi? Yeah. Come on, look at this. Tzarech lizor shelo echel rak b'shir beinani lefi meze gufay. According to the person's metabolism, you eat a medium amount. You don't eat too much, don't eat too little, eat just enough. So therefore, the body will be able to process the food. The stomach will be able to process it. Loi ma'at v'loi kol savoi. Don't eat too little and don't eat till you're totally stuffed. V'roi v'achaloyim. Look at this. And most sicknesses, habayim ala adam einam ella. They're only becoming because he has a bad way of eating. Isn't that amazing?
Unbelievable.
If you ate bad food, right? The guy ate bad food, so of course we understand that. Right, he ate too much grease and too much things. Of course, the body's going to be very hard for the stomach to process it. But if the person's even eating good food, he's eating salads. He's eating all salads. He's eating a lot of all greens and all the different things. But he eats too much. It's also no good. Sheleimah Amar b'chachmasai, as Sheleimah Melech said in his wisdom, Shoyme pivu l'shoynei, Shoyme mitzaros nafshay. If a person watches his mouth and his language, of course he'll protect himself from the tsar of the nefesh. Kaloima, Shoyme piv l'me'echol. Watch your mouth, what you eat. You see this? It's amazing. That's why he says piv, and he says also l'shoynei. Because in the mouth, you take food in and you also speak words, right? Machal ra'oi milasayva, to eat bad things or to eat too much food. V'l'shoynei l'dabe ela b'tzorchav, only speak what you're supposed to speak. Like we learned the laws of Lashon Hara, don't do that. The laws of Rechilas and so on. V'amar achacham ha'oichel dava muat b'dvara mazikim. Look at this. If a person eats a little bit of bad food, whenever he's eating something that's not considered healthy, but he eats a little bit of it, listen to this. Here you have a guy that eats some herring or whatever that they tell you is no good, right? Too much salt and whatever. And the other guy is sitting there eating a salad, but eats a giant bowl of salad.
3 kilos of salad.
Huh?
3 kilos of salad.
3 kilos. Wow, that's okay. 3 kilos. Even a kilo of salad. Even a kilo, right? 2 pounds of salad. The guy eats 2 pounds. He feels, so who's going to be healthier? The guy that ate a little bit of something else, because the stomach has enough secretions in order to break it down because he didn't fill it up too much. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. This is mamish amazing. This is Shulchan Aruch. So when you go when you're eating your meal and you don't eat too much, you're actually following a din in Shulchan Aruch, and you'll be healthy.
Also say shouldn't eat right before you go to sleep, because then the stomach is working so hard.
Right. Exactly. And you're laying down. Then the person you get acid reflux, all of that other stuff that comes about. Exactly. That's why you're not supposed to eat. You're supposed to eat early and then go to sleep late and then okay. Yossi, have a wonderful day. Cold too.